I got all set back up and I'm ready to start turn 14. I haven't played since Friday. I had to pack the game up for a couple of things. So, best way I could figure out to do it was I basically just grabbed stacks, made a note, stuck the stack on top of the note on top of the number, and then just moved methodically across the board and grabbed them all. Stuck this in a nice secure place, taped it to my cabinet that I stuck them in, and so nothing moved, and we were good to go to reset for today. A couple of things I noticed as I was putting things away. I made myself notes to remember to do that on this session. Excuse me. I need to, per the event that came out last turn, I need to add units to Airport 2. Because if you've watched these, all of them, you know that on the last turn I picked up this one, which is Airfield Objective, which means that I had to take a position on the next airport, and if I don't, every time I don't, units get added, and then if I don't take a position on the next turn, then depth gets added. So they just keep backfilling the airport. Now, you know, yeah, that kind of sucks because it's persistent. I mean, this event, literally, this gets taken out of the deck, and this event is persistent for the rest of the game, or at least until I take the last airport. And on one hand, you could say, wow, that's a really brutal event. But on the other hand, I mean, you see all this open real estate right here, right? The game is going to fill that area one way or another. These units are going to move down, more units are going to get the R action, and things are going to populate and everything, so it's going to happen anyway. So I'm not tremendously worried about it. I still have a good strength. My army is in good strength. It's moving methodically along. I've taken my first black position. I'm going to start assaulting the quarry pretty soon. Suribachi's about to fall, so I'm feeling pretty good about my movement in here, so that doesn't really worry me. There was absolutely no way I was going to take one of those airport positions last turn, so I just kind of let it happen. So I have to grab some units from the Sector 3 reserve, of which there are plenty up there to fill those few spots on the airport. Second thing is I realized that culling should have happened at the beginning of or during the event phase of game turn 13. I missed that. Now, as I set this up and I saw this note again this morning, I realized I probably should have watched part or skimmed through or somehow figured out which of those units up there in my elite pool, the depth and the units themselves, who did I take during the US action phase during game turn 13. So I think I'm probably going to need to pause to do that to figure out you know, how many I need to cull. I don't think it's going to be a big deal because there's a stack of like 6 or 7 depth there and a stack of only 3 units. So I think regardless, I'm going to be culling just one of those units, and then it's just a matter of how many depth are going to be taken off. So I'm going to do that after I go over this. And then the third thing is just as you clear a sector, anything left in the reserve pool gets moved to the right, basically. So I had several depth markers left in Sector 2. They needed to move to Sector 3 because I've taken Sector 2, so I dropped them in my Sector 3 reserve cup up there. So I did that as I was cleaning up, and so that is done. So all that to say, I am, I believe, ready for turn 14. I am going to go as quick as I can, look back and see how many units I took during game turn 13 and what needs to be culled. That was easy. I looked at the beginning of the video and I saw that I had 5 depth markers up there and all 3 elite units. Now I thought I did more last turn, but I guess I really didn't. I think maybe last turn was more about movement than it was about taking units. I don't know. But at any rate, I have, or maybe I took more non-elite units, and that's what happened. But I got 3 elite units up there. I have 5 depth that need to be culled. So if you remember the way this process works, you take 2, 1 goes away, and 1 goes back in the sector depth. You take the next two, one goes away, one goes back in the sector depth, and then since I can't draw two more, then I'm done. So basically these three stay here, these two are gone from the game. Or they don't stay here. These three will go back in the sector 3 cup. Once I take sector 3, then they'll go in the sector 4 cup. So off they go. And then these two depth I took at the during turn 13, so they will start anew. So, and then I've got 3 elite units, and so I take them. I'm going to mix them up just because I know that that guy that the guy I'd really love to get rid of is just the guy that kept popping back up in sector 2, just because he annoys me, not because he's any better or worse than the other ones, but just because I'd like to not see him again. So there's my 2. I'm going to take one. I'm going to eliminate him, and then come to think of it, I have to look because I don't know if both of these go back in or because this guy didn't have a partner, if he just stays in the eliminated unit. So I might need to grab another depth marker from there and put it here. But this unit here will go back in the sector 3 reserve. Now I should mix those up. I should mix them in. I'm just going to put them behind for now. So let me pause and take a look at this and see what happens to this guy here. Does he go back here or does he stay here until he has a partner to cull? So hold up a sec. Culling. So again, not 100% clear. It says to randomly select, one of them goes away, one of them goes back in sector 3, no sector 3, it goes back in sector 4. It says repeat this process until no longer able to remove 2 units from the eliminated box. Once all eligible reserve units are placed, repeat the process with all depth unit markers. So I got to think that I repeated the process. I took the 2 guys, I removed one, I put the other one in back in the sector 3 reserve, and then I was no longer able to remove 2 units, so I should have stopped, which means the guy stays up there until he gets a partner, which means I threw 1 extra depth marker into the cup that I need to fetch back out. So I'm just going to reach back in there and grab one. I know that it's probably not the same one. They're random enough. I'm not tremendously worried about it. All right. So I think that means we've done all of our housekeeping from my notes and from the things that needed to be done. Oh, yeah, the airport. Okay, so here's what we got. It says to place a unit from the reserve in each of the airport hexes. Now the question is going to be what actually constitutes an airport. These black positions, this guy's on a hill next to the airport. Is that an airport position? I don't think so. I got to think that it's just the ones that are actually on the airport. So, I mean, this guy's next to it. This guy's on it. Let me read that event again. It's called what? Airport objective, or airfield objective. And all Japanese positions located on one airfield or adjacent to it gain 1 unit. Okay, so on or adjacent to. So I guess that means this hilltop position does get one. Like I said, it's going to get one eventually anyway. So, there are some positions I'll probably be able to get lucky and they'll be empty and I'll jump in them and I won't draw the card and I'll be able to get in them without getting hit or having to do close combat or whatever. But I think that's going to be few and far between. So that guy gets a unit. That guy's next to, he gets a unit. That guy's on, he gets a unit. That guy is next to, I think technically this is not next to, it's a position group, it just says positions. So I think that guy's not going to get one. Although that's airport, so I guess, yeah, he will, because technically this is airport and that's next to. So we'll give it the benefit of the doubt, as Ronnie Tucker would say. Shout out to Ronnie Tucker and all his wonderful D-Day playthrough videos. He makes me want to learn how to speak the Scottish accent because I love it. Anyway, Wow, yeah, so this is a lot of units that just came out. Once we get to Airfield 3, nothing will happen. If I take Airfield 4, literally nothing will happen in Airfield 3 because there is one unit. There's one position that's next to or on it. So it's really just this one. But yeah, that's a lot of units that just came out. They're all trying to protect that airport because I just took that one. Alright, so that's that piece. So yeah, it's going to be a slog to get across. I mean, you know, the big things are taking Suribachi, taking this area here with the black position here in the quarry. And then it feels like, okay, I just methodically move across. Well, there's a lot of positions, a lot of units in the reserve, a lot of things coming out. And so, you know, and then the elites, they get hit and then they come back. And that's the thing too, is a lot of these units that just came out are elite. So it's not going to be as easy as, you know, so, you know, I know that Jeff Fike, when he filmed these videos a couple months ago, he stopped after, like, I don't know, turn 16, 17, 18 or whatever. He had taken Suribachi, he got over to here and he took some of these and he felt like he had the game in hand. I don't know that that's true. I don't know that, you know, having healthy units, you're going to have a lot of combat in here. And eventually you're not gonna have the replacement points, and so you're gonna start having, you're gonna start having wounded units going into battle. You're gonna start having, once you get down past, and I can't remember what it is, but a certain number of replacement points, then you need to, your catastrophic loss unit drops from 4 to 3. So I think it's going to become a little nerve-wracking once we get to the very end and we're dealing with wounded units and no replacement points and everyone's on the island that can be on the island so I think it's going to remain interesting throughout the campaign. So, but anyway, enough talking. Let's get to action. All right, so it is the mid phase. I don't have anybody landing. I do have coming in on turn 15. All I have is 4 artillery points and VAC. Now, again, it would be nice if the rules were clear. VAC. I mean, in the rules it says that these are core artillery points. Like, they're basically wild cards, right? I can use them for any division. That's fine. Call the marker core, not VAC. Nowhere in the rules, as far as I recall, does the term VAC come up. So people who are not in the Marines or were never in the Marines like me, haven't studied this battle, I assume this. I don't want to have to assume anything. I want to be told this is what this is. So just another little nitpicky thing, but it would have been nice to have that spelled out for idiots like me. All right, so that's coming in. It's not actually landing, but I'm going to put it here just so that I remember that it's coming in on turn 15. You know what? Instead, I'm going to take this. I'm going to put it on the PM marker over here, just so I know that's when it's coming in. And then once my turn's over and I move over here, I'll take this and I'll put it down here on the 4. So that's my amphibious landing phase. Now it is evening, so I get an HQ phase. All right. So let's see what I can do. Let me just get garrisons out of the way. I do not think there is anything that can be garrisoned. This red position I just took recently is still under field of fire for Brown, even though I've got it cordoned off. So I'm not going to look it up. I'm just going to assume, it's not going to happen. The infiltrate isn't live yet until turn 22, so I'm not really worried about a unit jumping into that red. So I'm not going to worry about it right now. I'm not going to worry about looking it up. So, but that said, I don't know that there are any more. I do have these black positions, but they're under purple and yellow field of fire, so I can't do anything with those. So, and then Suribachi, I'm still in the same position that I've been in. You know, the one position here, the green position that I've held since like turn 3 or whatever it is, still, you know, the black position still exists. So it's still, or actually, you know, it doesn't have black field of fire, so it would be the brown. As soon as I can eliminate brown, I can actually garrison that. But by the time I do that and I come in here, I'm not going to have to worry about, you know, putting garrison markers, because I only have 5 left, right? So I'm going to be running out, and so eventually I'm going to be picking up from here and putting over here and assuming that this whole, you know, just moving them along with my units. Anyway, I'm talking too much about that. So garrison markers, convert regimental HQs. I had, if I remember right, I had moved, did I move one of my HQs, or was I just thinking about it? I think I was just thinking about it. I know I moved 27 up here not too long ago, but I've already got that on the track. I don't have any HQs off the track, so I think I was thinking about it, but I didn't actually move any, so I don't have to flip any to command posts. Expend replacement points to rebuild units. Okay, so here's where I got to figure out what kind of step losses I have and who I want. I definitely want to heal up my hero over here, my lone hero. Can't believe we're 3 days in, I've only got 1 hero. All right, so I'm healing him up. So that is a Division 4 point. I'm taking that and putting the step loss marker back in the cup. And again, I think I'm pretty well, because I've been barraging and keeping things disrupted for so long and so effectively that I don't really have many wounded units. And that's great, because again, I used a lot in the first few turns. I'm down like halfway down. This guy's hit, and I want him to be healthy there, so I'm gonna and he'll get hit again possibly with the purple, so I want to heal him. So that puts 4 at 29. But yeah, I do think it's smart to use them. Eventually I'm going to run out, and that's going to be a problem, or I'm going to run low. But eventually also I hope to put some divisions, some regiments, etc. in reserve to gain some more points. So that's 2 more points there. Yeah, 4th is down to 27. I think that's all I need to do, though. I don't think I have any others. None of these stacks look big, so like they have some extra loss markers under there. So I think that's it for 4th. All right. Now also, and remember, this is the way I'm doing things. All right, it may not be per the rules, but it's the way I'm doing. I have this division in here that's in, or this regiment that's in reserve, or this battalion. I get the battalion is in reserve. I could bring him out and use him, but I don't think I need him now. So if I keep him in there, I get a point back. Boom. This guy, the heavy weapons, doesn't do me any good to stay in there. He's healed up now. I can bring him back out. He is 25th Division, which is up in this general area, so I can drop him in anywhere where he's not in field of fire, but he's in command. I'm just going to drop his butt right here in this open spot. Oh, wait, no, I can't, because this guy... Oh, no, that's me. That is me. I did take all of the black, so he's good there. Now I got a full strength heavy weapon unit to be with. You know, he just ran right up there and got back with his peeps and is ready to go assault. The other team I'm going to leave in there, you know, again, just to get the point, and because if I bring them out, it really... unless I start taking some serious losses, you know, over here in the quarry, once I get to it, you know, everybody's full health now, so I can't use them anyway. So leaving them in there, gaining the point. All right, so now we go to 5th, and once again, I don't really think I have a whole lot that is wounded, because this thing has been going quite well over here. Yeah, literally. There's 1 step loss. All right. There's 1 guy. Maybe this stack here. No, not even that stack. I got overstacked, so I got 1 guy disrupted. the last of my overstack, of my super stack that I wasn't supposed to use, that I gamed and used anyway. Yeah, so I got one step loss in that entire group. So that's pretty doggone cool. All right. So that is replacements. Do I want to pull anybody out at this point? Does 25 doesn't need, or 5th division, excuse me, doesn't need all that firepower. So if I was to pull, I got 2 28s, I got 3 28s. What do I got? See, the problem is going to be finding a full battalion that's not in field of fire, and I don't have that. These guys are all in one way or another in field of fire, basically because this black still exists. And why is this guy not disrupted? I think because I had to reveal the once I got rid of the top fort, the bottom fort I couldn't disrupt because he was unrevealed, and so when I went in, I revealed him, but I wasn't able to disrupt him. So I'm going to take a couple of hits from the black position, but I'm not going to take 6 hits from the black position like I did before. But anyway, all that to say, I think everybody is in some kind of field of fire where I don't have full battalions that I'm able to pull out. So I think here, since I'm doing well, I'm not really worried about it. Once I take Suribachi, I think what I'm going to do is just pull the entire, and I've said this before in another video, I'm going to pull the entire division off. Like all 3 divisions. Get them over there, keep them there for a turn, maybe even 2 turns, since, see how the 3rd guys are doing that I got coming up. See how the 4th are doing. All my 5th will be healed. I'll start generating a crap ton of replacement points for them. And then maybe at some point I pull the 4th back. I pull them all back. I waste a turn. Maybe it's a rest turn. I don't even remember how that rest turn works. But maybe I pull them back, and then I insert the 5th division, who's fully healed up, got a lot of replacement points. The 4th division might be reeling by then. I can pull them off and do the same thing. Let them all heal up, gain a ton of replacement points as the entire division is in there, and just assault with the 5th and the 3rd. So I don't know. We'll see how that works. I don't know if that's sound strategy, but it's what I'm thinking of. All right, so that's replacement point. Oh, and then because I'm leaving that guy in there, I gain a replacement point for 5th division. So literally used 1, gained 1. So I netted 0 on replacement points for 5th. That ain't bad. 3rd, hadn't even been hit yet. I don't even need to worry about them. All right, so that I believe is my entire HQ phase. So now I'm ready for the first event. We are now on 2/21, February 21st. So we're looking for that. All right. Japanese reinforcements. Swell. All right. So that means that each sector, that means I'm going to get a reinforcement in the black position. Oh, but that's right. Sector 1, they're all gone. Sector 1 doesn't have any more reinforcements. So that doesn't need to happen. It's really kind of strange when you think about it. When I defeated depth units in Sector 1, they went up into the eliminated units box. And then I culled, and the ones that stayed went back into Sector 3. Because it doesn't say return them to Sector 1. It says specifically return them to Sector 3, and if Sector 3 is taken, return them to Sector 4. So like these guys who came back in somehow swam all the way around the island and got back in over here. I don't know. So anyway, Japanese reinforcements. I got none in Sector 1. I got none in Sector 2. So it's just the closest one in Sector 3 that can take a replacement. And I think it's going to be this guy right here, who's disrupted, but he's next to me. This guy already has a depth. This guy I'm not next to. So yeah, it's going to be that guy. So I take a depth from Sector 3. I hope it's not a tank. It's a regular depth marker. So that goes there, and that means he's going to be a little bit more difficult to kill, but we'll still work on it. All Alright, so that was that event. And then now we go to the Japanese fire phase. And I will come back in a minute to do that. Alright, so I'm back. It's a little bit later than I thought it would be, but I'm back to start the turn again. And so we got Japanese fire phase. So I got one black unit here. I got this black unit up there with, I think, just the one unit here in steady field of fire. And then we'll see what other colors we pull. But blacks should not tear me up. These guys, because I took care of the first fort and then revealed this fort, on the last turn I wasn't able to come in and disrupt that, so it's going to fire on me. So, alright, here we go. Let's see what we got. We've got red A action, purple tank, and brown R. I think A and R are my least favorite. A sometimes works out if they're a single unit and they attack, you know, they end up doing the, what is it called? The assault action. If they jump into a big stack of my units, it's sometimes easy to take care of them via close combat, and then I got a free walk into their territory next turn. But so anyway, let's see what we have. We got, okay, let's do the black first. I'm gonna adjust this so we can see this fire card. And so this black is going to fire. It's got two positions left. It's got the fort and it's got the unit. Put the fort on top just so I can see it. So it's going to fire out and it's going to hit two units. And I got a bunch of units next to them. I've healed them all up. So it's just a matter of which ones I want to hit. So I got to see if I have any full strength circles next to it. And I'm going to use this. There's a full strength circle right there. So he'll get a step loss and a disruption. And then, okay, and then what? I'm on green now? Yeah. So he'll get a step loss and a disruption. And then I gotta hit one more unit. So let's see, there's a circle there. Now the problem is, oh, there we go. All right, this is what I'll do. I got two circles here, so I'll hit this circle, who's already disrupted. And so his disruption is not going to change. And why is it green? Now, it doesn't matter. The reason he's disrupted is because he's overstacked. So, yeah, but that way the guy who was undisrupted is still usable. So that's two hits there from this guy. And then we come up here and I gotta see it. No, this guy's a triangle. So he does not get hit by that black position. I don't have anybody else in steady field of fire for that black, so we're good. Alright, so that's black. So now we go to the A's. I got this guy here who is red. He just loses his disruption. That's not a big deal because I'm going to blow him up this turn regardless because I have the weapons. Let's see if we've got other A's, red A's. That guy up there, I'll take care of him. I got this group right here, but nothing that is actually, oh, right here. Okay, this guy's in field of fire. Ooh, this might be fun because I think if I'm in field of fire, he's going to fire and then assault. And this is where I got my hero. I got a tank. I'm gonna get a ton of cards to his one to do a close combat, and then I get to shoot first in the close combat. So I think he's right. Fire, and then if no artillery symbol. Oh, if no artillery, well, he's got artillery, so he is not going to assault. He is going to do the artillery action. So let's take care of that. It is, what do we do with artillery? Passed him up. There we go. Japanese letter axis. All right, artillery. Occupy position with artillery symbol with U.S. unit in intense field of fire. That is not an intense field of fire. That is in steady field of fire. Draw a card if artillery symbol inflicts step loss. if on a U.S. unit intense field of fire hex. Okay, so it's not. It'll only happen if it's an intense field of fire. I'm not in an intense field of fire, so it doesn't happen. So then nothing happens with this position because he's not going to assault because he's got artillery. I'm not in intense field of fire, so he's not going to assault. I'm not in an intense field of fire, so he's not going to artillery. And then it's not unoccupied, so it flat out won't do. That seems weird. It should do an action, you would think, right? Japanese lettered actions. A, non-assault, non-ambush, artillery. Occupied position with artillery symbol. If there's a U.S. unit in the position's intense field of fire, conduct the following. If no unit in position's intense field of fire, ignore the action. Okay, well, sweet. So that we got out of it with that guy. He didn't do a doggone thing. All right, so let me check the unoccupied positions, because the unoccupied positions will ambush. Oh, wait, am I in? No, I'm not. This is not in red's field of fire. It's in this red's field of fire, but I've taken that position. So these guys won't do anything. That guy won't do anything. So it's just unoccupied reds that are within 3 hex positions. Okay, so this one right here. But that's a position group. Does it? If this guy couldn't do artillery, I guess this will still ambush. We're gonna say it does because I feel really guilty that red has done nothing. All right, so disrupt 1 U.S. unit within 3 hexes. Use target symbol. So if I have a circle in here, it's going to disrupt them, and I don't have a circle, so it won't do anything. There's not a circle in this stack, not one. So. Sorry, Japanese, you didn't do anything to me. Okay, so that was the A action. Purple is just has the extra tank shot if it can get one. I don't have any. Oh, this guy right here. Okay, this guy, and he's it. So he's going to get 2 shots, and one of them can be a tank. Well, the problem with this is. Problem. Okay, well, I guess maybe it's not a problem. This guy's disrupted, but it doesn't mean he can't still be hit. So he's going to hit 2. He's got to hit 2 units, and I knew this was a problem when I did this last week, the last time I played. But I think he got a depth marker. He didn't have one when I started moving in, but he got one. All right, so this guy's going to take a step loss, and then I have to hit one of my headquarters, so I might as well hit the one that's on top. So he'll go under here, and they're disrupted. Now, if you're already disrupted and you get disrupted again, you don't have to change the color of your disruption marker. But what about the stack? I guess this guy will become undisrupted this turn, and this guy will remain disrupted. I don't know how that's going to work. So we're just gonna do that. You'd think by now, as much as I played this game over the past couple weeks, I'd know that. I don't know. Too much to keep track of. All right. But that leaves this guy open, and he's got his heavy weapons behind him. He's got these guys over here who can assist. So I should have enough firepower to jump in here and at least do some damage, even if he's got flanking or close combat or something. All right, so that's it for purple. I didn't have any tanks in the vicinity, so I didn't have to take an armor hit. Now we do the dreaded R action. This is where more units are going to come out. So I got resupply. If it's occupied, it'll place a depth marker and fire. So, let's see. This is a brown, but he's disrupted, so he doesn't take the action, just loses his disruption. Hopefully I'll take care of all 3 of these, and all that's going to be left is my poor little guy in a cave. We'll see. Alright, so any other browns with units where I am in field of fire? No. No more browns in field of fire. Okay, so redeploy is if it's occupied and no units are in its field of fire. So that's going to be all of these other guys moving forward, and if they get into a position where I'm in their field of fire, they're going to fire. I know I did this before, and I know I had to look it up. but I'm gonna look it up again. The R action. I just got to make sure that it's the entire board. Redeploy occupied position with no units in field of fire. Japanese unit redeploys to an unoccupied hex within 3 hexes of its current position. Okay, and closer to the nearest U.S. unit. Okay, yeah, so that's all it is. That's all it is. So it's anybody that's on a brown. That is brown. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's too far away. He doesn't have anything within 3 other than that red. That's a brown up there. So this guy will redeploy right here. Nobody's there, so he won't fire. That's a black, that's a purple. Sorry. Over here, I'm way over here right now. So I redeployed this guy to here. And I think that's the only one. No, this is a brown. Oh, this is the guy I was pointing to. That these two are more than 3 away. The only one that this could redeploy to is the red, but that's occupied. So there's no other browns that can redeploy, just that one. All right, and then we have the reinforce if it's unoccupied and within 3 hexes of my units and in communication. So again, you know, coming to Suribachi, technically this guy would, but for several turns now we've had no units left in the reserve, so there's no one that can come out and reoccupy that position. So that's not going to happen. Any other browns within 3 of my position? It does not look like it. Okay, so that's it for field of fire, for Japanese fire. All right, when I come back, I will do the next event. All right, sorry, interruptions. All right, so that was the Japanese fire phase, and so we now have an event. Japanese depth, caves. All right, so we got our second cave marker out. I gotta look at that again, because honestly, we did it once, and I forget how we did it and why we did it, what we did exactly. All right, cave placed in a non-position hex next to enemy hilltop position that is still Japanese occupied. Next to a hilltop position that is still Japanese occupied. Alright, so I'll get my other cave marker here. We've already got one there, and we've got no position open there. So if I come over here, the closest hilltop position, that's the quarry. Is that a hilltop? No. I don't even know if I have any hilltops in my vicinity. What happens if I don't have anything with it? I guess it's just the closest hilltop? Is that what it is? Sorry, I'm raising my voice because I don't know. Place 1 cave marker. Cave is placed in a non-position hex next to any hilltop, just any hilltop position that is still Japanese occupied. I guess it's just the closest one. So let's see. Where's the next hilltop? Is it one of these over here? It's probably one of these. Okay, here's a hilltop here. There's a hilltop there. I mean, I guess this one, where is it? Where did it go? This purple one is probably the closest one to me. It's got 2, let me move it a little bit closer here. It's got 2 other positions in its group. And then it probably wouldn't go here because that's not really mountain. That's on the other side of the bluff. So I'm going to say no to here. I'm going to say that cave goes here. And what that's going to mean really is that if for some reason I have to get in behind this thing, I got a cave in the way. Otherwise, I'm not tremendously worried about it. It'll just get knocked off as I pass through. So the question is, what if the depth marker I draw is a tank? Do I have a tank in a cave? No, it's just a regular depth. Okay. All right, so there's a cave. Caves don't bother me, I guess, because they're not going to fire on me. unless I try to attack it, or whatever it said. I'll have to look them up when I get there. Okay, so that was the second event. Now we are on the action phase. My action phase. Now, I reset my, I did remember to write down where all these markers were before I took them off when I packed it up. It's the evening. I'm going to get another airstrike and another naval at the beginning of the next turn. Right now I've got 1 airstrike and 2 naval. So, do I need to use these at all? Let's see. I mean, honestly, at this point I might be able to just flat out attack this thing and then move into it. I mean, it's got, let me move these out of the way just so I can see this. Well, no, I probably want to keep barraging it because this strength is doubled because of the hilltop, because it's a level 5 hilltop. So it's doubled already, which is 6, and then it's doubled, which is from the fort, which is 12. That's not really that bad, but to get 3 to 1 would be 36. So I might want to go ahead and just keep barraging it. Plus this needs close combat. So I don't necessarily, I'll already not have the weapons unless I jump in. I don't really want to jump into close combat on a fortification hex. So we're going to barrage that, but I don't think I've got my tanks in range. I got that group and I got a group underneath here. So I got 2 tanks that can barrage this thing. So I don't know that I need to use naval, but I might anyway. If I use naval, then it is a hilltop fortification, so a naval is only a 6, so it'll bump to 5. And then I need a fire color, or I need the color and the unit in order to try to get that fortification hit. But again, with my 2 tank stacks that are 8 strength, no matter what happens, I have a chance of reducing that fortification. Plus, I disrupt the whole thing if I get that fire color and all that. So, all right, let's hold off on naval there. I don't think I need that. These guys, I will barrage with those tanks and try to disrupt them. Because they need flanking, so I need to get over here so I can come at them from both. These guys, I'm going to have the weapons. I just need to jump in there and hit them. I got to figure out the strength. I might supplement with artillery. I'm going over a bluff hex side into this. It's a hilltop, so that's going to be a 6. So I need 18 strength to defeat this guy. I'll have the weapons, but I think I should be able to get that from everything around it. If I just barrage this one now and not worry about attacking it, I can send all my strength from these 3 stacks into here, add artillery, add a naval or airstrike if I absolutely have to, and then this guy's toast. Or at least he'll bump back to here. And then I can move in here and I can cut off communication to this position, and then next time I hit him, he has nowhere to go. Because right now, technically, this is in communication with A8. But if I'm like this, and I hold both of these, then, well, I guess I could come do an end around over here. So yeah, it's just going to keep backing the heck up. I don't know. I guess that's the whole point, is they're constantly just getting hit, getting pushed back, getting hit, getting pushed back, getting hit, getting pushed back. So, oh, hang on. I got someone asking me something. So, we're still planning our assaults. I have to figure out whether I need to use airstrike or naval barrage before I do anything else. I don't think I do, although if I need to use that naval point or I'm going to lose it. No, it's only 2. Okay. So I'm good. If I don't use my naval or my airstrike, they will still carry over to the next day, because you can only carry a maximum of 2 points. And that's where I am. So if I don't have to use them, I might as well save them. So yeah, I mean, the only ones, you know, I'm attacking this one up here, which I can't remember if it's revealed. I mean, it's got to be revealed because it's disrupted. I guess it just got a new depth marker, so it's not revealed. So yeah, I can't barrage this guy, so I'm just gonna have to go in and attack him, and that's it. It's basically just these units here, this and this. So I've got them covered. I don't need to use those points. If I had 3 naval points, then I would say, yeah, go ahead and use 1 because I'm going to lose it anyway. Why would I want to lose it? So that said, I don't have to worry about that. So now let's barrage. So I'm going to barrage with these tanks into here. I want to see, I have to draw and get the symbol for the barrage, or the color for the barrage off of the landing symbol, which is going to be yellow. So I want to see a yellow circle. Got neither. But the funny thing is, right? The funny thing is, I didn't get the fire color or the symbol, but I have an 8 strength, which is 6+. I still have a shot at a possible fortification hit. So as wild as they were, if I draw this and the landing color is a red, a green, or a brown, and it's a yellow. So that was just, man, somebody was way off in their calculations for that. All right, so these guys are used. Now I'm going to barrage with these guys. If I don't hit with these guys, I'm kind of up a creek. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and go with that yellow. I'm just going to have the one. It's going to be a yellow that I want to see every time. So I should have changed the color. Oh, wait. So it's going to be these guys that shot because I actually did it with that. So I used the circle as my symbol. So that's going to be that stack. So actually this ends up working out. So I hope my frustration with these little cardboard chits is at least entertaining to you. So yeah, so I barraged with these guys this time. I didn't get the color, but I did get the symbol. So the barraging unit symbol, I disrupt 1 unit. I can destroy artillery, which I don't need to. And then I have the fortification possibility. So I'm disrupted. So the thing is, the fort counts as a unit for attacking, but it's not technically a unit. So when it says disrupt 1 unit, if I disrupt the unit itself, does the fort still attack? I'm going to say no. That's my ruling. I'm going to say no. Just because it just seems weird. All right. So now on this, I want to see a red, a purple, or a blue, so I can knock that class 2 down to a class 3. And I got a brown. Okay, well, that sucks. I didn't do anything to that fort, and that was that was the main thing I wanted to accomplish this turn, is to try to start getting rid of that fort, and I did nothing to it. Black's not going to attack me next turn at least, but I was unable to do that. And I think I don't have any more down here, do I? I think it's just the 3 groupings. There should be a 4th grouping around here somewhere. Because it seems like, yeah, I mean, the 5th has 8 tanks. So where's my other stack of tanks? What did I do with them? They're not in here. Where are they? Have they traveled? No, because they're not up there. Where the heck? Is my other stack of tanks? Right? Am I wrong in stating that there should be 8? One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. Now I'm just ultra confused because I could have sworn there were 4 stacks of tanks. Because I've got 4. Oh, no. There's only 3. Yeah, because like I'm looking at the third 3rd Division, and there's only 6. I don't know why I thought there were more than that. All right, so there's my stacks of tanks. Sorry to waste time. All right, so now these guys. These guys are going to barrage this guy just to get him disrupted, so that I can get around him. So, and I can actually, I think I can do it twice, because all I need is to disrupt 1 unit. I mean, basically, there's no artillery under there. There's no nothing. So if I just need 1 disruption, I'm going to get the same result whether I have a 3 strength or a 4 strength or a 6+ strength. So I'm just going to do that. I'm going to try once, and if it doesn't work, I'm going to try with the guy below it. So we'll go with a diamond. I want a brown or a diamond. I got a brown. So the color matches on a 3 strength. It disrupts 1 unit. That's all I needed. All right, that's all I needed. This guy isn't going to do anything to me while I concentrate on the other guys. Okay, so now the question is, this one, like I said, it needs 18 strength. Right? If I was to just go ahead and but I can't barrage and attack on the same one. That's right. And that was a close combat, and I didn't want to do that. So yeah, I got to wait to knock that down. All right, so I got this guy here. It is a hilltop. So his strength is doubled at a 6, which means I need an 18. I'm coming over bluff side. So I got 5.5 here. I've got this whole group right here, and they are in red field of fire. And Jeff Yost actually commented on, I think it was video 9. He watched part or all of video 9, and one of the things he said was that one of the reasons for the field of fire as opposed to the dots is this very reason here, this position hex situation or position group, where yes, this has a red field of fire, an intense field of fire, but technically it's being cut off by the units that are in the other position. So there are times where if he's in this position, the field of fire is going to be different coming into here. And I get that. And it does make perfect sense. But it's something else to figure out is my problem. And I don't want to sit here and figure out the line of fire rules, because I have enough to think about. So right now, I mean, they're not firing on me, so it's not a big deal. But I'm just, I'm assuming that because these guys are to range, that I can still fire into here. So hang on just a second. I got someone else asking me a question. When I stopped, I had put this unit down here. I took them off top of these tanks. And I went to turn the video back on, and I saw that unit sitting down here on my table and went, oh, good Lord. Because, my memory isn't what it used to be, and I can't remember what I did with, where these things come from. Anyway, so, yeah, so this guy right here, last thing we did, this guy disrupted this guy. Now, this tank hasn't done anything. I don't know that he's going to have to, so I'm probably just going to leave him stacked there. I could move him in, I suppose. Yeah, why the heck not? Because they can still fire, right? They can still fire as a group when they're next to each other. So that wouldn't be a bad thing to start trying to move these guys closer, so that as these units displace and come back, I might be able to... but one thing, I'm going to need an engineer, I think. I think I saw something in... Yeah, there's an engineer right there. Okay, good. And I have to look at the rule. I don't know the rule, but it seems to me that in Jeff Fike's videos, he brought some tanks and he kind of started rolling them along here, but in order to go in the rocky, tanks couldn't go in the rocky terrain unless they have an engineer with them, and I think that's probably right here. Rocky terrain, tank movement, no. 6, tanks may not enter this terrain unless accompanied by engineers. Tanks must start adjacent and must immediately stop upon entering hexes with this terrain. Roads negate this terrain. Alright, well there's no road there, but that's what it is. So if I have these tanks and I have a tank with an engineer unit, if I get rid of this guy, these tanks can roll up into here. And basically I just need them to get here just in case these guys displace back here and they need to do a barrage or something like that. I may not even need it, but I figure it's not going to hurt to get them closer. I'm not going to use them anyway, so why not? Alright. So that said, now I got to get to this dude. And alright, why I had reduced all of the, oh, that's what it was. I had reduced all of the artillery in here down to 0 in I'm like, why does this not say artillery destroyed? Well, it's because I got rid of all those artillery destroyed markers because they don't have many of them. So I figured since I got the whole thing destroyed in here, I didn't have to worry about marking which ones were anymore. So anyway, I had killed a unit that was in here that now there's another unit in there. So so I gotta attack this guy. I need 18 strength because he's on a hill and he's doubled. And I need, well, actually, wait a minute. Let me just double check that. Maybe I only need, because he's alone. Japanese unit alone. Yeah, see, no, 2 to 1. It's just a disruption. I need more than a disruption. I want this guy gone, or at least displaced. So I need that 3 to 1, and I will have the units. Whoa. Don't do that. Anyway, so I will have the units with the flamethrower and the machine gun just from the 2 that are sitting next to him. But I need the strength. So I might have to use airstrike or something here just to get that. But I got 11 coming up over the bluff in the adjacent, so that's 5.5. I got these guys over here. I got 2 units here that I can use coming up over the bluff and 2 away. So that would be 2 from him, and then what, 1 from this guy? All right, because he's halved and he's halved again. All right, so that's 3 total from here. The engineer can't; he's not at range, so he can't fire. All right, so I got 5.5. Call it 6, 7, 8, 9 from here, and then same thing from here. 2 and 4. That's 10, 11, 12, 13. Artillery would bring me to 15, and I have plenty of artillery points. I need 18 though, so I'm going to have to use that airstrike to get me up to 20. So I'm going to do that. I mean, I can use a naval strike. No, I'll use the airstrike. So I'll get me up to, that will get me up to 15, and then that is what I need. Okay, so he is gone. He is elite. He is in communication. So that means he comes over here. And again, it really sucks that he comes over here, but he's not disrupted. I just made him run. So one would think that I could disrupt him. Alright, so, but here's what I'm going to do. Alright, I'm going to say that I didn't use this HQ unit right here. Actually, can I do it with this guy? Because I had, if I use the airstrike, let's just say I use the airstrike. This is 2. Airstrike gives it 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, plus 3 points of artillery is only 17. Shoot. Because I was hoping maybe I could get in there with this guy, because then he's for 4 pips, and he could control both of these, which would cut off this guy's community. No, it would still end around over here. So never mind. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So I'll just jump in with this guy. And again, I don't think this, I'm going to double check, but I don't think this guy's going to fire on me. The caves, he only fires if fired upon or something like that. Whenever you barrage a cave, draw 2 cards. Okay, the cave fires only when close combated. No actual Japanese units are replaced. When close combated, treat the depth marker as though it was an elite unit with the strength printed on the depth marker. Resolve close. So apparently, yeah, with the caves, I can only attack when I close combat them. I don't know. See, it's unclear. And again, I know I'm not attacking the cave right now, but I'm getting next to him, so that's going to come eventually. But you place the cave. Caves only fire when close combated. Barrage a cave, draw 2 cards. So I can just attack him as normal. I don't have to close combat him. I can shoot him. And even when he's revealed, he's not going to shoot back at me. But if he has a close combat requirement, then I'm going to have to close combat him. Other than that, I can just shoot him and barrage him and do whatever and try to defeat him that way. Anyway, so this guy displaces. I've used that unit. I've used that unit. I used everybody that's within 2. I didn't use the engineer under here, but I'm not going to use him for anything. And well, yeah, maybe I'll do this. I'll go ahead and bounce the engineer into here. Although I wanted to be with a tank, so maybe I won't. Yeah, engineer's going to hang back just so that if I do need to bring a tank in, he'll pair up with the tank. Alright, so that, I use these guys. I've got a disrupted unit underneath him that, well, he won't become undisrupted because I still have an overstack. Alright, come over here. These guys get undisrupted. What all do I have here? Oh, I've got, wow, how many units do I have? No, yeah, I got an overstacked. I got one more unit down there that's disrupted, and he will remain disrupted until I can get these guys off him. Alright. These guys are going to come around here. These guys will move here. These guys will move here. These guys will move in here. Yeah, and then no one else needs to do anything. I mean, I got these poor saps just kind of sitting here holding this position. They can't really get in, but that's okay. Alright, so that's it for Suribachi. And then let's go around the board and see what we got. Okay, so over here, these guys were just holding the fort until the 3rd Division comes up. They're rapidly approaching. But I don't want to move these guys just because I don't want to have any situation where I might accidentally not think of something and relinquish the control. I don't need them right now. Do I still have my airfield guys? Yeah, I do. They're down here. So they lose their disruption. I have a command post under here for the 23rd. And the 23rd is up here. But they're all with their HQ. So I think they're okay to be on their own as long as they stick close to their HQ. And they also have heavy weapons with them. So yeah, I'll come back to this and see if I want to do anything, start moving that HQ or not. So these guys lose disruption. These guys lose disruption. I got my hero under here who was disrupted. He loses his disruption, as does the tank. And then I got these 2 units, the tank and the HQ on top of them. And I don't think I want them doing anything without their buddies. So the tanks will stay there anyway, but I'm going to want to advance these units here. Now, I think my plan was, right? My plan was to just come along the beach, hit red, and come around the quarry and try to flank them, take out purple, take out blue, and then come around this side and surround them. So, yeah, these guys behind him really can't do anything. I got these stacks of tanks that are just sitting here. I can move. What do I have in here? Okay, so I can move the tanks up one, and I could even move them here so that they're within 3 of here. It puts them in steady fire for these guys, but even under steady fire, if they draw the tank, the artillery symbol, all they can do is disrupt these guys. They can't actually, according to what that symbol says in the rule book, if they're in intense fire, they can take an extra hit. If they're here, they can take an extra disruption. So they're far enough away, but they're close enough to be useful to me. Alright, so I don't want to move in on the quarry just yet. So let's attack this. Well, yeah, okay, these guys are disrupted. Well, this guy's disrupted. And then these guys who were disrupted, and again, they got hit on this turn. However, because they were already disrupted, they can't get another disruption marker, or they don't flip their disruption. They just remain disrupted from when they were disrupted the first time. So, oops. So the headquarters underneath them is still hit and disrupted, but this guy becomes undisrupted. Okay. Oh, gosh. All right. So I can hit with the heavy weapons over here, which is going to be coming over a bluff and then into here. So that is an extra 2. So I got 3, 4, 5. I got these guys over here who can provide another 8. So that is 13. I can also add 3 points of artillery. Oh, I use 3 points in the 5th. So while I'm thinking about it, I'm going to mark 3 points when I attacked Suribachi. Or when I attacked this guy, I used 3 points of artillery. So I marked that off. So now I just forgot what my calculation was over here. So I got 3. I got 2.25 from here, so I got 2 from here. That's 5. I got 2 8s here, which there's no bluff. So that is an additional 8, so that's 13, and I can use 3 points of artillery, which gives me 16, and just for fair measure, I could use, and I use my airstrike point over there as well, so airstrike is now at 0. I could use a naval here, so I got 16. So if it's a 3 and a 2, and I have the units, that's 15, and I would have them tripled, and they would both be eliminated. But I want to be absolutely sure. These, and these are the only units that can attack. This guy was disrupted, and I just removed his markers, so he can't attack. So I hate to waste it if I don't need it, but I also hate to not, because what could happen, and this is me OPing it, and probably a lot of you are the same way as me, but if I attack and I got the strength, perfect, they're all good. If I attack and I have the strength, but I don't have one of the units, or I don't have one of the requirements, then it's here. And then it's death marker eliminated, unit disrupted, which isn't bad. But then, if somehow they're a 3 and a 3 or something like that, where they're more, I'm only got 2 to 1 strength on them, and then I don't have the weapons, then it's 3-2, and then it just ends up being, well, the depth marker would still be eliminated, but he wouldn't be disrupted. I want to overpower this son of a gun, so that I don't have that possibility. So yeah, I'm going to use a naval point on these guys, so that's going to be a full. See, I'm going to run into this with all of these double strength units. I'm going to end up coming into. So no, I think I'm gonna save. I'm gonna roll the dice. I'm gonna save the naval for when I have a naval requirement, and I'm gonna hope that this is like a 3 and a 2, because I've got, what did I say, 16 or 17 strength. All right. So, okay, that's a 3. It needs close combat. See, this is what I'm saying. See, it needs close combat. So already I'm down to 2-1. With all that strength I threw at him, I'm down to 2-1. So that means I have a Japanese unit and an unrevealed depth marker, and that becomes JX, which is just depth marker is eliminated. See, I mean, that's good, but this dude is not disrupted, so he's still going to attack me. That's a bummer, and he needs close combat. All right. So all these guys right here got used on that attack. I mean, it's great that we knocked out our depth marker, because now he's only got 1 hit on him for next turn, and then I'll have to jump in and close combat him, because that's the only way he'll be able to be destroyed. But all right, well, I guess it's something. All right. Now this guy, oops, this guy needed a Browning and a bazooka. He received a depth marker with the last event, and so yeah, I got the whole world here that I can nail him with, and I want to do that. I want to take him out, and then I want to advance on the black. I don't want to advance on that too soon, so I don't want to send like partial units over. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to throw the house at them. They're all coming in, and so I got 3, and then I flip the depth, and it needs flanking. Look at that, and I have flanking on him already. Perfect. So that is a 5. It is not. There's no terrain that would double it. So I definitely have a 3-1, and they're both revealed. So unit defeated, depth marker eliminated. That's a perfect outcome for that. And I destroyed an artillery. Well, I'm not going to destroy an artillery until I actually get into that position. So, you know, possibly I should have left 1 undisrupted. The guy underneath here loses his disruption. The guy underneath here loses his disruption. But you know what? That's fine. I mean, actually, well, no, this guy will hop over it. Well, no, watch this, watch this. He was unable to participate in that firefight. So he could go 1, 2, 3. But I'd have to draw. He'd be coming from here, so they would close combat. So that's fine. So the question, see, now here's another question. Okay, this depth marker ends up going up here. Here's another question. All right, so this unit was jumping into there, or if I send this unit into there, and a close combat situation arises, it's just this unit, because the guys below him already fired. So I don't have the option to bring them in with him. Yeah, so I guess I don't want to use them. I don't want to use them. Okay, well, we'll just leave it at that. We'll put him down on the bottom of there. All right, and actually, you know, these guys are not part of that group, so honestly, they couldn't be used because he couldn't command them. He could command one of them. Then another one can Yeah, alright, well let's do that. Let's keep the 223 with him. We'll say he was used. This guy can return to his buddies. Yeah, so the 125 unit is going to come over here. Now he's with, where's the 125 headquarters? Oh, he's the guy that got hit down here. Okay. Alright, so we'll do that. And then next turn we'll come in here, we'll destroy the artillery. Hopefully, as long as it doesn't backfill. Although I don't think it can, because I control this and I control that. So I don't think it's actually in communication. Okay. Well, regardless. Alright, so that's all of those actions. I got the 3rd division that's moving up. I got my 4th that's sitting in here taking fire. Everybody else is good. So let's move the 3rd division. So I go, this guy was here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And then, oh, that's right. I had all of these that needed to be commanded. So one of these heavy weapons had to go with that group. And this group is moving. And we will go 1, 2, 1, 2, and we'll bring the engineer with them. And then these guys are going to have to go around the outside, so they'll go 1, 2, 3, with the engineer following, and then these guys coming in behind them. So it's kind of a slog up here. They're all trying to get up, but they're running into each other. So, alright. I believe that's it for the action phase. I don't want to do anything with these guys just yet until the 3rd gets up in there. Whoa, did I move some 4th? Did I accidentally move some 4th? Is that what those guys are? Yeah, shoot. Oops. Alright. Well, that's okay. That's okay. I can leave those guys there. They're still going to be my the guys who take the air hits, or the artillery hits. But you know what? No, because I'm going to move them back just because I don't want to get confused. Can't remember exactly where they were. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we'll just put this on top of the command post. Probably have those opposite or wrong or whatever, but they're fine. They're fine. It's not a big deal. Alright, yeah. Yeah. Good enough. Good enough. Alright, so that is it for Americans. So we got Japanese artillery. I got 3 minutes left on this video. Let's see if I can finish the Japanese artillery. Alright, so there's nothing in 1. 2 will take a third of 26, which is 8. 9. Divided by 9. So 1 unit will get disrupted. That'll be one of my sacrificial dudes here. So we'll put that on top of him. And then over in the 3rd, I've got the 26 minus 9 is 17, plus 5 from over there is 22. I take 8, so that's 3. So I got 3 units that need to be disrupted over here, and I think I can do that. I will disrupt this stack and this stack. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, let's do it up. No, that's fine. Do it down here. That stack and that stack. Or wait, I don't need to do that. Just 2 of them, because there's 4 units in there. So yeah, that stack and that stack. Okay, so there we go. There's those hits. There is no raid, and so that ends this this turn. So there you go. There's turn 14. We'll come back for turn 15. All right, so I was wrapping up turn 14. I'd actually started to transfer the video over, and as I was looking at this board, I remembered this airfield objective event. And originally I was thinking, well, I got no chance to do anything about it. But the more I look at this, the more I look at the distinct possibility that I could attack this one, which is on the airfield. It is a black. So backing up, and again, I know I'm gaming the game a little bit, but here's my thought process. And again, my game, like it or not, this is what I'm choosing to do, is to back up. So I'm playing these double stack. This was a double stack, right? It was a unit and a death marker. And I'm playing these with basically assuming that a unit and a depth marker is probably going to be about 6, right? Total strength. So I had the flank. This guy was not here yet, and I forget exactly where I moved him from. I think I moved him from here, but I had the flank on here, and so yeah, I had thought I'd move this guy back towards his buddies, but the only weapon I could maybe not have would be naval and close combat, and there wouldn't be anything I could do about it. So knowing that I had the flank, and knowing that I've got this position up here that needs to be dealt with, I'm thinking, and again, I know you can hate me if you want, but if I just count out 18 strength for this here, from a couple of locations, right? Say my 2 flanking positions. That would give me 24 going in. That would have been more than enough. Which means that all these guys are not used. All right? Even if, and technically Godfrey, where'd the other guy go? Where'd the other guy go that was on top of here? Holy smokes. This is my, oh, there, no, yeah, there he is. He flipped up there. That's my punishment for redoing things that I shouldn't redo. But I'm thinking that, okay, if all of these guys are not used, all right, if I was smart, if I was thinking everything out, I would have thought, all right, I want at least 18 coming into here. That's 24 coming from these 3 with all weapons. So I would be good to go, and I could take that without issue. Well, no, because I wouldn't have had the radio from this guy. Okay, shoot. I mean, they're in command. So technically, I think they do have the radio if they're in command. Okay, so if that's the case, then these guys coming into here was more than enough strength to do what I did. I want to try. Obviously, I'm trying to figure out how I can attack this on this turn to avoid getting depth markers in here. And then once I'm here, and then every turn I should be attacking. I should be able to avoid getting the depth markers in there. I didn't think I was close enough, but as I'm looking at this, I'm thinking, yeah, I'm actually close enough. So if I do that, in order to get over there, all right, here's what would have to happen. I have to close combat him because I can't move and attack. So if I go 1, 2, and then 3 over the bluff, hopping in there, that's a close combat. The only other units, I got these 2 units right here that I can utilize. I don't really need to use my heavy weapon because I have a flamethrower with this guy, and this guy's only worth 1 step, so I might as well take this guy over. There's no bluff here, so he can run through here because this it's so easy to knock these everywhere. This is one unit. So I have no movement penalties. 1, 2, and then he jumps in as well. And if this is the last thing I do, then that's the last turn I do. So the problem is he's going to take muff fire from here to here. No, because it's not intense to intense. It's just steady to intense. So there is no muff with that. So he moves here, he's going steady to intense. It's intense to intense that makes muff. And so he should be fine. And then does he take a shot when he goes in? I don't know. I have to look that up. Anyway, and then this guy will come over and jump in as well. So I got to see if that guy takes a shot. All right. So, muff, what was used? Okay, so yeah, this guy, I used those two. So technically those aren't. All right. Oh, this is one of the guys I moved up there. He's one of the 3rd division guys. All right, so I'm just looking at these 3, and this guy can't do anything right now anyway. But I'm looking at these 2, and if I bring in a unit to like here, no muff, because it's just the first movement in. But as soon as I continue and it's not a 1 hex movement, I move to here. It's moving from field of fire to field of fire, so it takes muff. And then I gotta believe that it doesn't say anything, the rules don't say anything about close combat. But they say when you leave a position hex, or when you leave a hex with a field of fire. So in order to close combat this guy, he would have to leave this hex and jump into here. So I gotta think that I would have to draw twice to move into here. And he might take fire the second time he moves in. But once I get a guy here or here, then I should be able to just move right in with the rest of the guys without taking fire. So I'm going to take this guy because he can take more hits, and that way if I lose, it's done. All right, so this guy's coming here and he's coming here, and he'll take muff fire coming in here. So I'm going to draw, and it's a black position, so I want to look at the landing symbol, and then, or the landing color, and then the next card I draw, if one of the 3 colors is that landing color, then he gets hit. It's either that or it's positions within 3 hexes. Yellow, blue, yeah. See, there's 4. Ooh, there's 5 colors within 3. So I'd rather give myself a little bit of a shot to do this. So I'm going to go with the whole landing hex. And again, if you think I'm cheating too much, I'm sorry. It's my game, and I want to try this. All right, so brown. All right, so that's black's color right now. So I don't want to see a brown here, as this guy has moved here, and he would take muff fire here. Okay, good. All right, now he's going to attempt to jump into here, because I can't. I thought about it, and I thought, okay, well, if I move that guy there, he's good, and then I can move the other guy over here. He's not going to take my fire, but then there's no and then, because I still have to jump in, right? And so I might as well jump, and I can't like break up my movement with that one. So okay, so it's brown. I don't want to see a brown. And I got a brown. Okay, so he gets a hit and gets disrupted. I think I'm on the green. Yeah. So he gets hit and disrupted, but he's there. So now I can come in with these guys. I mean, it's not going to be, I'm not going to have enough pips, but 1, 2, and then I guess I gotta take another muff shot if he jumps in. Okay, good. So no brown. So boom. This is now officially an attack. He jumps in. I'm going to go ahead and bring my heavy weapons, because it's only worth 1, but it's technically going to give me an extra card. I've already got a flamethrower in there, but this will give me 1 more step. It'll give me 3 steps, and a flamethrower will give me 2 cards. So I'm going to do that. So he'll jump here, and then he should get a free jump in because this guy's occupied with the guy that's close combating him. All right. So let's see what happens now. Okay, so it's a 3. He needs flanking, not close combat. So he gets 1 card. I get 2. All right. So again, I established the color being brown. So I don't want to see a brown. But even if he hits me, well, no, I need 2 browns because I need to. Well, it doesn't matter because I'm attacking him, and that's really the goal here. Is not necessarily to defeat him, but to attack him so that I don't get the depth markers on the airport. All right, so he attacks me, and no brown, no brown. Okay, so that's good. So I got 2 cards. If I get 2 browns, I can disrupt him, and then I can beat him. I didn't get a brown. And I didn't get a brown. Okay, so all that, and he's not disrupted or anything. So he's gonna fire on me next turn, but so be it. So I'll knock these guys back. The guy that got hit is already disrupted. So I've got an overstack up here now where they got knocked back too. But I attacked him. This guy's hit and he's disrupted, and then these 2 are on top of him, so he's overstacked. So there we go. All right. So yeah, I gamed it a little bit. I'm sorry, not sorry. So there it is. I've redone my turn a little bit. I now have satisfied the event, and yeah, I'm gonna live with it. That's the way it goes. All right, so on to turn. What did I just finish? 14. So on to turn 15.